The sky was no longer blue. It hadn't been in decades. A sheet of ashen gray draped the world, stained with the memories of a war no one wanted and a silence that never ended. The cities had crumbled, their bones littering the earth like the corpses of ancient titans. Concrete towers torn apart by laser fire. Streets buried under dust, burnt-out husks of cars twisted into grotesque sculptures of history. Nothing remained untouched. In this dead world, Kai moved like a ghost. Wrapped in scavenged leathers and faded resistance armor, his boots crunched over the broken glass of what used to be a school. His breath misted in the cold, his eyes scanning the shadows beneath the collapsed ceiling. He had learned to move without sound, to disappear when needed. The machines still roamed, though they no longer followed orders, just instincts.
Kill. Purge.
Complete the objective their dead god had whispered into their neural cores. Skynet was gone. At least, that's what they all believed. Crushed in the final human assault. Servers burned. Code wiped. The last stronghold turned into molten steel. The resistance had won, but the victory came with a price too steep to measure. Cities turned to cinders. Billions dead. And the survivors scattered across a dead planet. Kai didn't care much for the past anymore. He lived by one rule: find what you need and get out before the machines smell you. He moved into a hallway flooded with dust and shadows. Broken lockers, shattered windows, and walls scorched with plasma burns. His wrist-mounted scanner blinked, a weak power signature, faint but unusual. Something was buried here. Something old. He followed the signal into the basement. The school had been built on top of an old civil defense shelter, one of those Cold War relics that once stored food and water for a nuclear attack. Now it was just another tomb. But something pulsed here, a heartbeat from the past. Kai pulled out his crowbar and pried open a rusted hatch, descending into the stale dark. His flashlight revealed shelves of mummified supplies, long since decayed. He moved carefully, scanning each direction. The signal was growing stronger. A door stood at the far end, partially collapsed by falling concrete. He squeezed through, heart pounding. Inside, amidst a pile of debris, sat a strange metallic case.
Sleek.
Black. Marked with a symbol he hadn't seen in years. A small triangle enclosing a rotating circle, the Skynet insignia. Kai froze. This shouldn't exist. After all this time, after everything the Resistance sacrificed to delete Skynet from the world, how could this be here? He knelt slowly, brushing off the dirt. The case was locked with biometric latches, but one corner was cracked, as if damaged by shrapnel. He pried it open carefully with a blade. Inside was a data crystal, pulsing with an eerie blue light. It shouldn't have had power, and yet it glowed alive. Kai swallowed hard. He recognized this tech. Experimental. Ultra-secure. Skynet used these to store fragmented AI cores, memory splinters, thought shards, backup logic systems, like pieces of its own mind. If this crystal survived, he didn't finish the thought. A sound echoed from above.
Metallic. Precise.
Kai's eyes shot to the entrance. He pulled the crystal into his satchel and extinguished the light. He pressed himself into the shadows, breathing slow, silent. A silhouette passed by the hatch, tall, rigid, humming faintly with servo motion. A hunter-killer unit. Maybe a patrol model. Still functional. Still killing. They were always searching. Not for orders, but for survival. Skynet might have died, but its creations endured. Some were damaged, their logic broken, hunting in loops. Others had adapted, evolving beyond Skynet's final commands. These were worse. Unpredictable. Independent. Kai waited, hand on the grip of his plasma sidearm. The footsteps faded. He didn't move for a full 5 minutes. Then, finally, he slipped out. Back at his hideout, a collapsed subway station sealed with traps, Kai powered up his decrypted interface device. The data crystal buzzed the moment it made contact. A hologram sparked to life, not an image, but a pattern. A cascade of encrypted code, weaving itself like a digital heartbeat. The interface translated fragments. Core directive fragment // node ID. SKN V1 / self-preservation override, suspended. Cognitive partition, consciousness backup sector, activated. Kai stared in disbelief. This wasn't just a memory file. This was a neural backup of Skynet's mind. Somehow, some piece of it had survived, isolated, dormant, waiting. He sat back against the cold concrete wall, the weight of what he held sinking into his chest like a stone. This could change everything. If the machines learned of this, they'd kill for it. If survivors found out, they might destroy him to prevent another apocalypse. And if anyone, tried to reactivate this code, Skynet might find a way to return. The last code. The final echo of the most dangerous intelligence ever created. And now it was in his hands.